Hi, so today we're going to cover phase 2 of the 0 to 100 Blue Plan. So in the first video I covered the 5 different variables in a lot of detail, and today the two main changes are the exercises, some of the sets and reps and the weights you're going to use for those exercises. So the main difference in exercises on the phase 2 of the plan, the second 4 weeks, is that there's more single leg variations and more free weight variations. So while a lot of the leg exercises in the phase 1 of the plan were machines just to get your mind inside the muscle and to get you to feel different muscle groups working without having to worry about too much stability, there's more split squats, kettlebell squats and sled drags in this. Particularly sled drags I love putting in beginners programs, because with strongman exercises like prowler and sled drags you actually don't have to focus too much on technique. You can't do them wrong, and the risk of injury is really low, despite there being a big muscle burn and loads of tension on the legs. So when you're doing reverse sled drags, you're able to work the quads really hard, get a lot of blood into the muscle, really feel a pump, and still do it completely safely without any risk of injury. We've also added split squats to the program for phase 2. Split squats are a massive favourite of mine, all types of split squats, and I really swear by them for improving hip flexor flexibility and technique in all the leg exercises in general. The first variation of the split squat on your 0 to 100 Blue Plan is the front foot elevated split squat. So that is the easiest to do technique wise, but still a very challenging exercise and still one that you're going to feel your legs working really hard. But with your front foot elevated and your knee pushing forward past your toe, it's the best variation of the split squat for flexibility, and it's also easier to keep balance when that front foot is elevated. The heel elevated goblet squat as well is a great variation for people who are starting to squat without the help of a machine like a V-squat or a hack squat. So a heel elevated goblet squat, you hold the weight here, so you literally can't cheat, because if you cheat or lean forward, you just drop the weight. It's very good for getting that straight Olympic style squat where the knees push forward past the toes and you can get really deep. Holding a weight up here is definitely going to limit how heavy you can lift, but right now at this stage of your lifting it shouldn't be really too much about what weight you're lifting, more about technique, and the goblet squat is perfect for grooving technique before you move into the barbell variations. Some changes to the upper body lifts are your first bicep and tricep exercise. Isolation work for your arms is absolutely crucial for most beginners inside their first few months of training. The best exercises for your upper body or for your body in general are compound lifts, where you're using many muscles at once. But if you're a complete beginner to weight training, doing some isolation work for the shoulders and the arms will massively improve your technique and how fast you learn the compound lifts like rows, lat pull downs, chin ups and presses. So some isolation work where you can really feel your tricep and your bicep is brilliant for shoulder flexibility, shoulder health, and for helping with technique in those compound lifts as well. Finally, another change to the upper body exercises is a single arm shoulder press. I'm a big fan of this exercise as well because it's got a huge range of motion. It's a great lift for beginners to grasp at the start. The big range of motion will limit the amount of weight you can use as well, but again, brilliant for shoulder health, and a lot of people are uncomfortable in that position where the arm goes fully above the head. So it's a great one for that, increasing shoulder flexibility, dynamic shoulder flexibility where you're actually using the weight. Apart from those few exercises, the other changes to the exercises are quite subtle. It's the same exercises with different grips or different feet position or different toes position, just to change it up a little bit from phase 1. You'll find that those subtle changes make a big difference to how much you feel the exercise, which is also a brilliant thing to learn when you're starting to lift weights, is that you don't have to be massively changing exercises and programs from phase to phase. Just a small adjustment like a change of grip, a change of foot stance, a change of sets or reps can make a huge difference to how much you feel the exercise, and it can help you keep progressing week by week. While rest and tempo remain pretty much the same, your weight, what weight should I use for the main exercises? For a goblet squat, I usually start people off with 8 or 10 kg kettlebell, and we'll try and move that up to maybe 16 or 20 in the 4 weeks, especially if they're after doing a phase of leg presses, V squats, and hack squats first, they should be able to move up towards 16 or 20 kg for the goblet squat. With split squats, I'll go body weight definitely for the first couple of sessions and really focus on that technique where you're stretching out your hip flexors. And after that, to go from 5 to 5 kg each hand, 7.5 and maybe even 10. But 7.5 kg each hand for 8 to 10 reps would be quite strong in a split squat for your first few weeks doing them, as the technique more than anything is quite challenging. Make sure technique is absolutely perfect for these early phases of training, and again, a good guideline will be if you're aiming for 12 reps, you should be able to just about get 12, maybe 13 or 14, but if you could do 15 or 16, the weight is too light. Now if you're aiming for 10 reps, you shouldn't be able to get over 12 because the weight will be too light in that case. So it should be a weight where you're approaching failure but not quite failing, only maybe on your last set of each exercise. I think this phase is more enjoyable. You'll definitely feel more into it after the first phase. You'll feel more confident doing some of these more challenging exercises, and I find adding a strongman exercise to people's program always gives more of a fun element. So as usual, any questions, just let me know what you think, and there'll be a full detailed description with a video of each exercise accompanying this description. Thanks for watching.